Welcome guys. I believe this will be the last video section for GitHub. So we're going to round up GitHub by talking about git branch commands. But before we start talking about git branch, I would like to mention something which I realized I didn't say in the previous lectures. That whenever the very first time you'll be using git in your terminal, you will need to run these two commands. Okay, so you can choose to run this command immediately after you've typed your git init or after you've done your git clone. So you can choose to run these two commands. Very important. If you don't run it, they will still ask for it later on when you want to git push or commit, so they will surely ask for it. So just watch the error message if you see it, or if you want to avoid that error message, just do this stuff earlier on after you've done your git init or your git clone. Okay, and you only do this thing once. You won't do it again after that once. Okay, just keep that at the back of your mind. You always need to do it only once, unless you want to change the user that is using your terminal for your GitHub account. Okay, so you always need to, anytime you create a new repo, you don't need to do this thing again. In as much as you've already done it once in that terminal, it will stick with that your email and your username. Okay, so the same format here, just write the same format, just type this first part, git config global user dot email, then put your email there in between the quotation marks. So I click enter and repeat the same process again, git config global username and your username for your GitHub. Replace it with your GitHub username also within quotation marks, then click enter. So it's very simple, it's a very simple command. Okay, so now let's move to the major topic for today. So talking about git branch, what git branch means is just that we have our main, or what can also call the master branch. So there are other branches you can choose to create. You can call those ones like development branch or test branch, whereby you are working on upgrading the project you are working on, but you don't want to test those upgrades in your main branch, so it won't spoil your main work. So you are doing it in a test branch. I don't know if you understand that illustration. So just see it as a way of you testing new things, testing new code in another branch, so you won't play around with the main major branch. So then once you see that the tests you've made in your development branch looks nice, then you can choose to then push it to your main branch. Okay, so that's what we want to look at today. Alright, so I'm going to use some of these commands outlined here: the git branch new branch, git checkout dash b new branch, git branch dash d, git merge. Alright, so let's get started. So I'm in my Ubuntu software now. I think I'm in my home directory. Okay, what was the last one we did? I think we did my projects and my church projects. I want to delete one of them. I don't need both of them being there. Which of them should we delete now? Let's just delete this first one. Okay, so rf dash r. Make sure before I delete that, let me be sure of what is inside this other one. Okay, let me go back. Oh, it won't just. Okay, let me clear the screen again. Yeah, I like as I got that error, so that it's the same way if any of us can choose to make that mistake. So remember, if you want to remove when you want to remove a directory that is a GitHub directory, you can't remove it normally like you were used to remove your directories in shell navigation. So when it comes to GitHub, you have to force delete, so you have to add F to it. So again, let me try it again. So you can see it has deleted now because of that F. Okay, so let's focus on this my project. I think I must have deleted that repository. I have to create it back again. Let me create the okay, so my project, I think that's the name. My project, yeah. Okay, scroll down, create. Okay, let me just quickly git push this project. My projects git push. Okay, so username. Okay, my username, password. Sorry, let me just go to where I store my parts. Okay, alright, so I've git pushed this, so I believe it should be on my GitHub now. Let me refresh this page. Okay, very good. So now what we want to do now is that, let me go back to the lecture. So now, notes box. Before creating a new development branch, first we need to add commits to the master, unless we are going to get an error. So what that's like, that's notes is trying to let us know that before you can think about creating a new development branch, make sure that you've done git add, git commits in your master or main branch. Okay, so that's what we must do, and we've already done that already in the previous lecture, so that's why I didn't bother doing it from the start here. Okay, so I've already done git add, git commit, so just ensure you must do that stuff first to be sure that everything is cool. For you to be sure that you've already done those stuff, you can just do git status and to tell you that on branch master, your master is up to date, nothing to commit, which means you've already commit everything. Okay, so that's the first thing you need to confirm first. So you can use your git status to confirm that. So once you see that there's nothing to commit, which means everything has been committed, then you can choose to create a new branch. Okay, so now the first note there, let me go back to my notes. So the first note said git branch command. So what does it do? So it is used to view all branches that we are in. So for example, I write now like this, git branch, to tell me which branch I am in. So I'm in my master branch. That's why it is showing master here. So if I create other branches, it will actually list them. It will actually list them also. Okay, so that is how the git branch command works. It lists all the major branches you are in. So then let's go to the other part of the lecture. Okay, then I talk about git branch new. So the git branch new is used to create a new branch. So we're going to create a new branch right now. So I'll go back to the terminal. So we have git branch. So the new branch is the name you choose to give your new branch. Let me just name it test branch. So I choose to name my new branch as test branch. So now it means we have two branches rather. So for us to check those branches, we say git branch. So as you can see now, the git branch shows the two branches that we already have. We have the master, we have the test branch which we just created. So the master is colored. It's colored meaning that that's the current branch we are in. Okay, that's why it is colored. While this other part that is white is just telling us that we have other branches also. Okay, we are currently not in those branches, but right now we're in our master branch. That's why the master branch is showing this color. Alright, just a notation format. So that's it. So we've learned how to check about the branches we are in, and we have also learned how to create a new branch. Alright, so going back to the notes. Alright, so the next part of our lecture is talking about git checkout new branch. So what git checkout does is that it is used to move to the newly created branch. So the newly created branch, for us to move to that branch, we have to use the git checkout command. So let's see how it works. Remember, currently we are in our master branch. So if I say git checkout, then the branch I want to move to, that's the test branch. You can say switch to branch, test branch. So let me do again git branch. Let's list the branches that are available. You can see the test branch now is not the colored one, while the master is no longer colored. So which means I'm currently in the test branch. Alright, so if I want to again switch back to my master branch, I will say git checkout master. So switch to branch master. Your branch is up to date. So let me do again git branch to see my list of branch. You can see the master is now colored because now I'm in my master branch. Alright, so I believe you're understanding this command very well. So let's go to this next part. Okay, or before we go to the next part, let me go back to the test branch. So I will say again git checkout test branch. You can see all the same files that were in my master branch was what came out in the test branch. So now from this test branch, I can choose to play around with it or modify it in my own style, in my own way. Then if I like it, then I can choose to git push it or then merge it to my main branch. So it depends on what you are actually working on doing. Okay, so but before we try to modify some things concerning this test branch, I would like us to talk about this other part called the git checkout b new branch. So what this line or this -b option does is that it creates, in case like once, like it's just like a combination of these first two. Okay, so it creates that new branch and at the same time it moves you automatically to that new branch. You can see this first one, the git branch new branch. What it does, like when we did git branch test branch, what it first did, it creates that branch for us. Why this other one checkout, it made us move to that new branch. Why this particular one is that it will also, while it will create the branch for you, at the same time to make us move to that branch directly at once without us needing to do these two codes for us to go to that next branch. But you get, so that's just the point about this. So just see a quick example on that aspect now. That means I have to, let me just go back to git checkout my master branch and create a new branch. So I'll say git branch, I think the yeah, b. So git branch, then the name of the branch, let's just say nothing branch. I just choose to call it a weird name. What just happened now? So let me go back. It's errors which unknown error b. Okay, wow, it seems this one doesn't accept this options that this option that we added. That's the git branch. That, I mean, check. Oh, okay, I was even the one that made the mistake there. It's actually git checkout I should have put there, not git branch b. My bad, my bad. Okay, let me just clear this screen. Okay, so git branch, we are currently in our master branch. Okay, so we want to create a new branch and at the same time move to the branch at once. So that is git checkout to move to the branch, then -b, then the name of the new branch. So name it nothing branch. That's a weird name, I know. So now switch to, we've created the branch and we have also switched to it at the same time. So if I say git branch now, you can see now we're in the nothing branch and we have other branches there. So that is just another way of doing it faster. Alright, so it depends on how you want to work or what you require. All right, so that's just it. But personally, I prefer still doing the two codes. Like I prefer doing the git branch, then the name, then git checkout, then the name. So I just like ease. I don't want something that will make things complicated, or whereby I don't really want to move to the new branch yet. I just want to create it down. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So it depends on your own taste anyways, or what you are trying to do at that point in time. Alright, so I don't need this nothing branch though, so I will need to delete it. So let's say to delete, git branch dash d, and the branch name is used for deleting or removing a branch. Alright, so for us to remove this particular branch, that's our nothing branch, which we are currently in that branch. So we can't remove it when we're in that branch. We have to leave that branch to remove it. So I'm going to leave the branch first. So I'll say git checkout master. So I'm back to my master branch. Let me confirm it again. Alright, so git. Okay, so I think I have to remove it now. So for me to remove it, I will say git branch dash d. So git branch dash d option, which means delete. Then which one do I have to delete? Then I'll now write the name of the branch I want to delete, which is nothing branch. Okay, so that's the one we want to delete. Now let me just say something before I click enter in this aspect. Like, just keep it in your mind that you can actually use this small d, or you can use this big D. Just that both of it, they have their own difference. First, that small letter d, what it does is that it deletes your branch when you must have first done your add and commit. Okay, so you need to do add and commit for you to use that small letter d to delete the branch first, or it will give you a kind of like a pop-up message to be sure that if you still want to delete it, if you still want to forcefully delete it. But if you are using the capital letter D, that one will not even care about anything. His own name is to delete it, whether you are using it or you are not using it, or whether you have committed or you've not committed any changes. His own is just to delete that thing, that branch for you once and for all. So just like the forceful way of deleting, why this one is not forceful, it will give you some condition to be sure that you really want to delete it. All right, so let me just use the minus, the small letter d anyways. So I'm using small letter d. I'll click enter. Deleted branch, nothing branch. Okay, yeah, so delete immediately. You know why? Because we've not really worked much at all on it. Okay, so that's just how to delete branch. So let me say git branch. You can see we have only 2 again, no longer 3. Alright, so now let's do some real modifications. Now let's go back to our git checkout. Our git test branch, which we are in now. So let's make some changes and let's see. I think this text file, let me see if there is a content there. Okay, there's no content. Now I choose to want to put a content there, so I will say echo. So I'll say echo. I think by now you should know how to use the max of AI though, but I just don't want to put much of a long sentence, so I just want to use a simple sentence. So let me just say a simple text, and just put it that way. So that will be the contents inside it. So text file. Okay, so let me say cat text file again. Okay, good. So I've made these changes. This, mind you, this change now is not in our main branch. It's only in our development branch, which is our test branch. Okay, I believe we're in our test branch. Let me check it. There's the git branch. Okay, good. Yes, so we're only working on the test branch and we're making changes in the test branch. We are not touching the main or master branch yet. All right, so let me see. Let's just make another change again. Let me see if there's something in this sub projects. Okay, we have some things inside here. What should we do? What should we change? Well, just on that, you don't need to really stress much on this change. Just know that you can change anything you want to change. Okay, just put that at the back of your mind, so you won't sleep here in this video. So I want to make this video as brief as possible. Okay, so maybe if you just want to change anything, probably let's just change the readme of our sub projects. Okay, let me see what is inside there first. Start readme. Okay, some content. Okay, so let's just change it to maybe something else. Some other contents. readme.md. Okay, let me just be sure that changes has been made. Okay, good. So the two things we changed, let me just go back. So we changed the text file, then we enter into our sub project and change the readme. We didn't change this particular repo readme though. It was the sub project's readme inside that we changed. So we only changed two things now. Alright, so let's do our git add git commits. I made some modifications. Okay, so I can choose now. Let me explain something now. If you do git push to another branch, like to a development branch, to a test branch, what you're actually doing is that, like, for example, if you are working with a team using a particular GitHub, okay, and everybody is using that GitHub, so you are building an app now with a group of people and you'll be pushing your work in those GitHub. So you'll be using all these test branches to make some tests to the changes. You won't touch your main branch, so you actually make some of those tests and you like how the changes looks like in your test branch. Then you can push it to the GitHub. But once you push it to the GitHub, it won't reflect directly in the master or the main branch of the GitHub, but all your team members will be notified that something has been pushed, kind of like a development branch has been pushed. So it's less for your team to then like do a quick overview or look around your project or what you upgraded. Then everybody will accept the permissions that okay, they like the new changes you choose to make, so everybody accepts it. So once everybody accepts it, then it can be confirmed and it will get pushed to the main master branch of your GitHub. Alright, so let's just see how it will look like. So let me say git push. Okay, okay, since this is the first time of me doing git push in a test branch, I have to do this stuff. So git push, you remember I said that u is the short form of writing this setup stream. Okay, so origin test branch, my username, my password, which is my personal access token. Okay, so it has been successfully pushed on GitHub. Let me go to my GitHub. You can see test branch had recent pushes less than a minute ago. So that's the push we just did here. Let me click on compare. So pull request. I made some modifications. So what will happen here is that everybody will view what you did, the changes you made. They'll be like, oh, okay, he entered inside the sub project in the readme, he changed this previous content, he deleted it and put a new modified content. Okay, then again, okay, he entered the text file, then they added this file. Remember, it was an empty file before, so we added this file, no longer making the text file an empty file. Now it's a non-empty file, which has a content of a simple text. Okay, your team will not be like, okay, that is what it did. Well, it looks nice, not bad, should you accept it? Yeah, it's a good upgrade for it to help the system, to help the app. I'm just playing around anyway, so just get that imagination in your head. That's what I'm trying to let you know. Then once they accept it, then they will now accept. Then you can choose to put some comments about what you did, then create pull requests. So you click on create pull request. So this creating pull request will notify your team. Okay, so they'll get an email that a pull request has been made. So they'll now review what you did, so they can choose to then accept your requests. So once they accept your requests, all your work will now reflect in your main master branch. So everything will now reflect here. So for now it's not reflecting. Okay, so that's how it works. Okay, now I have another aspect to touch regarding this. So now let's do something else. Let's assume we want to push our work to want to use within the same terminal. I want to push my test branch inside my main branch. So how will I do that? So that is where the git merge come to play. So that's the last command we'll be looking at. So the git merge is used to merge a successfully test branch to the development, or talking about the main branch or master branch. Okay, so or it's not even just about only the main or master branch. It can also be another development branch that you want to push it to, just like the way we created that other one. So you can choose to want to merge it to that other one. So it's not compulsory, it's always be your main or your master branch. So it can be another development branch entirely. All right, so for this case we are going to use our master branch. So for that to work, we have to first leave this current branch we are in. I think we are still in our test branch, so we have to first leave this space. So let's leave here, check out master. And mind you, before switching back to your master branch, make sure you've done your git add and git commits, and obviously we've done that here already, which made us push, so no need of us checking. So let's switch back. So we switched back to our master branch. So it's from our master branch now. We can then type the git merge, or if you are not moving, if you want to merge it to your master branch, if it's another branch you want to merge it to, you have to first go to that other branch. Okay, then type the git merge. Okay, so the git merge, then the name of the branch you want to merge to the master branch. All right, looking at it again, git merge and the branch. Okay, you are trying to merge it. Okay, so I want to merge the test branch inside my master branch. All right, so I'll click enter. Now you can see everything has been merged successfully. 2 plus 1 minus 1 plus. You can see this stuff is just like what we saw in our GitHub, whereby the text file add +1, add a new content. Remember, it was an empty file. While this other one, the readme, it adds something which was minus. Okay, which we changed to a new plus, whereby we change it to some content. I mean, what did I write? Some other content or something like that. So that made it like 2 commits. All right, so that was just what happened here, and everything works successfully. So if we let's confirm what is inside our text file now. It should be exactly what we expect. You can see a simple text, which was what we did. Let's go to our sub project and confirm that one also. So let's confirm the readme. So cat readme, you can see some other content. Perfect. So you can see how GitHub is very sweet. GitHub is sweet actually. Okay, so that's just how to do your merge and all. And although there's something called merge conflicts, but once you get to see that, like, just follow the error message that you will see though. Okay, but usually even if it gets merged, once it gets merged, like for example now this merge went smoothly, like it went smoothly in the sense that it could automatically make those changes for me faster. But there are sometimes that whereby it may not make that change. It may not make that change. It may require you going into the file to edit some certain thing again in your main branch. Okay, so to show some kind of arrow, some kind of crazy text, you just want you to go to that text and remove some certain unwanted files and leave the main file. Anyways, so that's just how it is. So this is all about our git branch commands. I hope this is very explanatory, entertaining. Okay, so have a lovely day. Make sure you practice. This is the last video on git on Git and GitHub. So yeah, okay, let's push before we close. Let's just at least push this work, although we still have this stuff here. And it's actually the same thing. If we confirm this and accept the pull request, since we are not working with group, it will update this part here. But you know that if I update this stuff directly from my GitHub site, it means I will have to git pull the whole of this, because the GitHub will be ahead of my terminal. Don't forget, that was the last thing we did in that last video. So that's why I don't like touching the GitHub site itself. So rather I will prefer pushing it from here directly to the GitHub, so I won't have any worries about pulling down my stuff back or stuff like that. So the only time all these test branches are useful, or these development branches are useful, is when you're working with a team, and then those team will be the ones to then look around and all. So that's just it. Okay, so let's just do git push. Let us push this stuff in our master branch. So I'll say cd dot dot. So git, can see git status, there will be some stuff. Okay, so let's say git push, let's say code paths. Okay, so you can see a simple text is there already. Let's go to our sub projects. The readme, some other contents it reflects also. So that's it about that. In short, well, since I will still read this project, let me just play around with this. Let me just click on this stuff, compare and pull requests. Okay, okay, it has already changed because I already switched the stuff. Like the GitHub already realized what I did in the terminal, so that is why I don't need to do this stuff again inside there. So there's nothing to compare. Okay, so either you can do it with the GitHub or you can do it with your terminal. That's why I always advise you to do this stuff in your terminal. Alright, so only when it involves working with a team, then you guys can then do it publicly on GitHub. So then it means you have to pull the work back to your terminal when you want to work on it again. Alright, so that's it about this. Hope you understand this. Alright, so do have a lovely day. Bye.